Welcome to day 19 of The Businesswoman Who Creates Time. I'm Rachel Evans, and I'm here with you for 30 days in a row. Today is December 29, so getting closer to New Year and the start of an entire new year of possibility for all of us. One question that I'm often asked, particularly when my husband and I are overseas, and definitely when we're around some of our business peers, is how do you make your life partnership and work partnership harmonious? So I have plenty of both male and female friends in business who see my husband and I traveling together, traveling the world together for work and pleasure. And they recognize that they would really enjoy doing the same with their own life partner who might not be inside their business. They might still be working as an employee for someone else and therefore don't have the same kind of time freedom that we have been able to implement, obviously, through years of setting up systems in our business. But they recognize that they're missing out on some great opportunities and experiences together. So they'll pull me aside for a quiet moment and they'll say, how did you make this work? And it's really what I want to talk to you about today, because it can actually cause a strain on your life partnership, whether your life partner is in the business with you or they are off doing their own thing. It might be as a full-time employee for someone else, or it might be necessary because your business is still getting off the ground and hasn't replaced an entire family income yet. You might not even have the goal to replace the entire family income, but I know many of you who are ambitious, high-achieving women would like to have your business operating at a level where no one has to go and work for someone else anymore, because the time freedom that can buy you when you set your business up properly is extraordinary. It's the best, and the whole family becomes richer. And I don't necessarily mean financially, but the opposite of time poor, because you can afford to spend more time together. So how do we make that work? How do we make the dynamic work? And I would actually call it the dynamic duo. How can you be that at home and at work if you are going to bring your partner into the business? And for my husband and I, if you're new here, my husband and I got married at the end of 2020, in between COVID lockdowns. And for the first 5 years of our relationship, we actually only saw each other every second week. We were parenting children in different states, and we would do that one week and then we would fly across Australia somewhere, and we would then spend the next week together. That dynamic changed 2 years ago, and I'm happy to report that we're now together all the time. Now, for some people, you may wonder, well, how does that even work? It just does. We look back on that time now and wonder, like, how did we do it? But we are both very resilient people and committed people, and we just realized that we did what we had to do, and that was it. That they were the circumstances. We both wanted to put our children first and not have our relationship cost the kids anything, whether that was moving to a different state and being disconnected from their friends. We didn't want that. We knew that the time would come where we would be able to live together all the time, and it's not the circumstances we would have imagined, but that is what we do now. And even during the times when we were only able to see each other every second week, we still had an amazing work rhythm that meant that when we were apart, we would bookend our work day with a business meeting with each other. So we'd come online before we got on with the team or with our clients. We would discuss our days ahead. So we each operate out of a different calendar because we are functioning in different roles inside the business. And then we would obviously interact during the workday, but in more of a business capacity. Then, when we were both finished our final calendar appointment, we'd come back online on another Zoom meeting for 15 minutes. We'd debrief everything that happened, share any work information with each other that we needed to. And then, when that was done, we flicked over to life partners again. So, that concept of bookending your day with a morning briefing and an afternoon or evening debrief is super important if you are going to be the dynamic duo outside of work and inside of work as well. Because once those two things are done, and you move into your evening, then you are husband and wife or fiancés or partners, whatever your terminology is. And you don't feel like you've got to rehash work stuff because you left it in the afternoon debrief. Same as the following morning, you can be life partners, enjoying that conversation, that connection, and then morning meeting briefing for the day, switch over into work mode. So that's the first strategy for becoming a dynamic duo, both outside and inside work. Number two strategy is that there can only be one CEO. So I started the Workshop Whisperer in 2014, my first coaching business, and my husband came into that business in 2019. He's an extraordinary coach, behavioral profiling specialist, and pretty handy at sales. So he has looked after those departments inside the business, whereas I have grown into CEO as well as having responsibilities for delivering to my clients as well. So we're very clear on what our roles are and where we don't cross over so that there's no confusion for the team, which, you know, while we were learning how to do this, there's probably times where there was confusion, but there can only be one CEO. And once you decide on who that is, looking at your skill sets and what suits where, then you've got to adhere to it. There's nothing worse than you agreeing on who's going to be the CEO, but then the very first time you've got the opportunity to have decisions made, the person who's not CEO comes and undermines the CEO and tries to change a decision or have a different direction taken. The next thing that you want to be cognizant of is where you've got a situation that your other half isn't technically coming into the business, but your income that you receive from the business is actually funding a large part of the family income. So it's really important that the business does well. Your other half, for whatever reason, whether it's financial or they just doesn't feel like it's their jam to have an active role in the business, we have a strategy that we teach our clients, or a principle rather, of, you know, how to be a dynamic duo, and it's called buy-in or butt out. So often I see with clients that there's a life partner who either hasn't shown an interest in the business, or for whatever reason it's just not right for them to be in it, but they want to call the shots from the sideline. And that can handbrake the person who is operating the business. Now, you can have a very polite, very loving and kind conversation about, you know, buy in or butt out. And I highly recommend that you do have it sooner rather than later if you recognize by watching this video that there's handbraking going on from the sideline in your relationship dynamic, and it is putting strain on your overall partnership, both outside the business and in it. So those three things are sort of on the business side, how you make sure that you grow together as a dynamic duo. And then on the outside, when it's a life partner thing, my husband and I have always had this saying since not long after we started our relationship, because we were both coming out of horrendous marriage separations and we both had healing to do. And we knew, because of work we'd already done on ourselves, that neither one was responsible for fixing the other. So we've always had a saying that is, I'll do the work on me for you if you do the work on you for me. So basically, we each work on ourselves for the benefit of not just ourselves, but the other person as well. And I find that the clients that I've also shared that with that really embody that and realize that no one's coming to save you. It's not anyone else's job to fix you. Happiness is an inside job. If you are projecting all of your sadness, unhappiness, negative feelings onto other people in the form of telling them they shouldn't be doing something, or just generally giving them negative feedback, and that's all based on the unhappiness or the sadness that you feel on the inside, then only you can change that. We just have to hope that the people that are on the receiving end of that projection know that your opinion doesn't count in those matters. So only you can fix you. It isn't anybody else's responsibility. And when you're coming from a place of, well, I've got healing to do, but I'm working on it, and the other person in your relationship is also coming from that place, that's where magic happens. Because you soon realize that you can overcome anything. And when you're doing it together and you've got two people marching forward in the same direction, not one in front of the other, not one person dragging the other person along, but hand in hand, side by side, then you've got the recipe for a dynamic duo. And it doesn't mean that you're always going to be on an even keel with each other all the time. There are times when my husband is here and, I might be a little bit down here. There's things going on with the kids or with work, and he's a little bit up, and then it will reverse. But then there's a lot of time where we're like this because we've done the work. So dynamic duos, absolutely possible as life partners and as business partners, and also where it's just one of you in the business and the other is outside of it. You can still have a dynamic duo and both enjoy many of the benefits of you being in business and you creating this opportunity for your family. It requires patience. It requires knowing that only you can be responsible for you, and communication. Those three things are key in any dynamic duo. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. It's new as well. And please like this video so it goes far and wide. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 20.